What's up, Disrupt Nation? So, what's going on, guys? It's been a while since I've done this, but I had a topic that's on my mind, and I wanted to talk about it while it's still relevant. So, I figured what better way than to go live. So 2018 has been a terrible year for Bitcoin, and then as a result, it's been a terrible year for cryptocurrencies and blockchain. Um, Overall, right? The entire market tanked, and a lot of these coins, the way that they get their liquidity, right? The way you take a coin that's not Bitcoin and turn it into cash is by first transferring it, getting it into Bitcoin or one of these other main coins. And Bitcoin has kind of been the gateway drug for a lot of these other coins, and that gives you the ability to turn it into regular cash. Like you can pay your rent, you can pay your bills, you can do business with people that don't accept Bitcoin. 90% of the world, 99% of the world still doesn't accept Bitcoin, right? So the market completely tanked. We're in December. There was some speculation that it would go back up somewhere close to that 20K by December of this year. We're already on December 18th, and it's looking like that's not going to happen, right? We just had another tank. It's dipping, below 3K, 4K, in that ballpark. A few months ago it was at 6, and it was at 7, and it's really, if you look at the bell curve, it's going down. And I think a lot of it has to do with the irresponsibility of all the ICOs and all these fake crypto companies that came out into the market over the past year. And it's really been a lot of greed. It's been a money grab. It's been a land grab. A lot of people taking advantage of people. And I really think it's like the chickens that are coming home to roost, right? And there's tons of people that made money. There's tons of people who got out already and they cashed out. Tons of people that were holding on and hoping things would go back up, right? But we saw this ICO renaissance with all these different blockchain companies, and people were building companies with blockchain just so they could use blockchain, not so that they could build a company. There was all these companies that like raised funding, didn't have a product, barely had an idea, right? If you would have showed it to any real traditional investor, they would never give you any money for it. But because it was blockchain was the buzzword, these companies were getting money. They were able to basically flood the market. I think there was this statistic that over 1,000 coins from last year like no longer exist. Like the company went out of business. If you have the coin, it's worthless, right? So that's pretty crazy. That's like if every single government in the world, let's say 90% of the governments in the world all went out of business one day and none of their money was good. That's pretty much what happened in the crypto market over the last 12 to 18 months. So, I think, a lesson can be learned here. And I think all of the lessons that can be learned are like the same lessons from traditional finance, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Super simple business stuff. I think the people who lost the most were the people who were being greedy, the people who were making decisions based on emotion. And that's the same thing in any type of business, same thing in real estate, right? You shouldn't make a real estate decision based on emotion. You shouldn't make a stock market decision based on emotion. A lot of people were like, hey, I believe in blockchain, so I'm going to throw all my money into the market. And, there was the whole HODL, holder movement or whatever. And, at the end of the day, I think there was a mixture of, number one, greed on one end. You had a bunch of people who, like, they don't even understand technology. They just started learning how to use an iPhone. And then all of a sudden they're a crypto expert. That's the other fucking thing that's pissing me off. All these people going on LinkedIn and Twitter, calling themselves a crypto expert. I'm a fucking blockchain expert. And you look them up and it's like, you got into blockchain like 2 months ago. Like, hey, when'd you get into blockchain? Like anyone who says anyone who says after December 2017, I'm like, yeah, you're full of shit. Like, there's tons of people like, oh, I went, in March, I went to a conference and it looks really cool. Like, yeah, fuck out of here. You're not a fucking crypto expert. So it's been this huge land grab of like people just trying to build a blockchain company and like they don't even care what the fuck they're building as long as they can like put blockchain in it because they think that's like their get rich quick scheme. So again, I believe in blockchain. I believe in crypto. I fucking love the fact that it's decentralized and that we're putting the power back into the hands of the people. I think a lot of the stable coins have some potential, some coins that are maybe a little bit more centralized. I mean, it's unfortunate, but with those big upsides now come these big downsides. What's the future of blockchain? Is blockchain going to continue to fall into 2019? Is Bitcoin going to continue to fall in 2019? Is the whole crypto market going to continue to crash? Maybe, right? I think there's definitely going to be some clear winners and losers. I think Ethereum, again, came with a really great concept. And now that all these quote unquote shit coins, right? All these coins that are like worthless are now built on Ethereum. And again, I think Ethereum is like the V1 of the idea. So from a software development perspective, are there things that the original Ethereum left to be desired? Sure. That's how you have, companies like Elixium and all these new projects, Buoyant Coins, and all these new concepts. Whereas Bitcoin, especially, right, and then even Ethereum, this is the V1 of a piece of software. So me as a software developer, I'm like, okay, if I, was going to take the V1 of PHP, the V1 of WordPress, the V1 of Windows, V1 of anything, it was never going to be as good as the final version. And I think one of the problems with the whole decentralized process is software upgrades. So until they solve that, until there's a way to upgrade the blockchains automatically, and I think some people are working on it, you're gonna get in this shiny car syndrome where every week there's gonna be a new blockchain. It's gonna say, hey, we added this feature, we removed this feature. That was the thing with Bitcoin Cash, and they forked Bitcoin, and let's come out with a new version, right? That's great for software, right? But if your money's not getting a software upgrade and now it's not worth anything anymore, that's a problem, right? So yeah, I mean, you don't want money to depreciate the same way an iPhone does, right? If I have an iPhone 3, it's not worth as much as that iPhone 10 is today, right? It's just not, or an iPhone 4, right? iPhone 3 might be collectible, but if I have an iPhone 4, iPhone 5S, it's not going to be worth as much as the iPhone 10 is because software prices go down. But money is not supposed to go. I mean, inflation, it does go down a little bit. Money's not supposed to go down. You're supposed to be able to leave your money in a bank. You're not supposed to be able to go in a year, right? If I had $20,000 in the bank, right, and I came back in 12 months or 6 months and I had like less than half the money there, I'd want to kill the bankers, right? So this alternative to the banking industry, right now, it's really not that. You can't leave your money in there and have it be safe. So for 2019, what do I think is going to happen? I think we're going to have a lot of losers. I think more coins are going to continue to fall. I think Ripple, because it has that institutional backing, is probably going to go up, and you'll probably have some other players, some other stable coins, and some things that may become the winner. Right? Whenever you have losers, you have winners. So there is still opportunity in the space. I think if you're creating an application that it could benefit from some sort of internal blockchain usage, absolutely. I think all the banks are already adopting this. So if you're a coder and you're getting into blockchain, I think it's a great time. But if you're an investor and you're trying to make a quick buck, now is not the time. Do not bet your kid's college fund on blockchain. Now is definitely not the time. It's way too early to see the winners and losers. I posted a video from Gary Vaynerchuk on my Facebook. If you're not following me on Facebook and LinkedIn and all those other places, go down there. But I posted a video on all my social platforms, and Gary Vaynerchuk was comparing Bitcoin to like Ask Jeeves. And it's like, yeah, Ask Jeeves was the best search engine until Google came out, right? So I think we're yet to see what the Google is for Bitcoin or what the Google is for blockchain and cryptocurrency. And I think it's too early to tell. But for 2019, if you're a coder and you're in blockchain, I say keep going. I say get involved with a project that has funding, and get involved with either a traditional financial institution or a company that has funding. It is a great technology to get into. If you're an investor, I say be very, very, very careful, because we are in that very early Ask Jeeves, Lycos, Excite, Yahoo type of days, and you don't want to be stuck holding a bunch of Yahoo stock. All right, that's it. I'm out. See you later. Oh, real quick, we're having another event in Puerto Rico, Disrupt Puerto Rico, February 27th, 28th. Make sure you're there. I'll see you on the island.